So what's going on, guys? I am Black Ops Amazing. Welcome back to another video. Today we have some brand new information on Black Ops Cold War Zombies. I've got a ton of things to show you today. This is mainly leaked information, so if you don't want to know it, if you only want official stuff, then I recommend you click off the video now. But I'm going to be talking about the new map that we are going to be seeing, some old maps that could be returning, features, and plenty more. As always, if you're going to enjoy today's video, don't forget to drop a like rating. Make sure you are subscribed to stay up to date with the latest content on the channel. But let's get into it. Here we go, and enjoy. So by now I'm sure you've all seen the 11-second teaser that we were given at the end of the multiplayer reveal, but along with that we weren't given any information. It was a bit of a surprise, we didn't expect it. It was a multiplayer reveal after all. Zombies information doesn't usually come around until about a month before a game's release. Besides from the description that we had on the Battle.net website and a few other smaller things. Other than the 11-second teaser video, we don't really have any official information. Right now we are going off a lot of leaks and speculation, but what we can do now is try and link these leaks up to the footage. And over the past day or so, some brand new leaks have come out. This is from a very credible leaker in the community. His name is Tom Henderson. He got a ton of things correct with Modern Warfare, and more recently the Black Ops campaign and multiplayer. But he's given us a little bit more zombies news. This one to me is very surprising because someone over on Twitter asks him, do you have any news regarding a hypothetical Zombies Chronicles 2 on Black Ops Cold War? We've all heard the rumour by now that Zombies Chronicles 2 has been finished for quite a long time. It was supposed to release on BO4 but never did, so there's a lot of speculation that it will release in Black Ops Cold War. But to this question, Tom Henderson replied, this image, you can see it's a GIF of Mob of the Dead, and along with it he said, just to be clear, I'm not a big zombies guy, I don't know about the story arcs etc, but I was told Alcatraz will return. And then someone replied to him saying, again? I know what you mean, dude. And Tom Henderson said, yes, but I don't know in what format. It could be a direct remake, or it could be a remake with a new crew involved, etc. I don't know. He did say he isn't into zombies, he doesn't know much about it, but he does get this information fed to him, and he was told that Alcatraz will return in Black Ops Cold War. In what aspect though? He's not sure. Now first off, this is a big shock to me as well because we've heard of maps returning such as Transit, Buried, Die Rise, but Alcatraz has never popped up in that conversation, and rightly so. You wouldn't suspect Alcatraz to be a map that would return. We've recently just had it in Black Ops 4. Yes, it wasn't a true remake, it was a remaster with a new crew. I guess you could call it more reimagined, but we've only just gone back to Alcatraz not long ago, so if I had to guess any maps that would return to Black Ops Cold War Zombies, I wouldn't have thought Alcatraz would have been one, but apparently it is. Maybe it will be a remastered version of the original Mob of the Dead, where everything is exactly the same besides from the upgraded graphics, the same characters, the same layout, the same Easter eggs, because I know a lot of people didn't enjoy Blood of the Dead. I have to admit Mob was definitely better, but I still thought Blood was okay. So would you like to see Mob of the Dead remastered in Black Ops Cold War Zombies, with the OG characters Finn, Billy, Sal and the Weasel? So that's the first leak we have, that Alcatraz is coming back. But he also said on another tweet after we got the Zombies teaser, Nakta and Toten is reused by the Russians for their nuclear program. Zombie Nazis escape and infect the site. There are Russian and Nazi zombies. We are having a new crew, old weapons from World War II still remain on the site, and you start with a torch or a flashlight for you Americans until you turn the power on. So this is all in relation to the footage, where near to the beginning we saw Nakta and Toten. It looks quite a bit different to the original, there is graffiti everywhere, but this is the stairway behind the hell door. In some capacity, Nakta and Toten is 100% in Black Ops Cold War Zombies. We can see it right here, and he's telling us that as a part of the storyline in Black Ops Cold War Zombies, the Nakt building is going to be reused by the Russians for their nuclear program. Now, the original Nakta and Toten took place in Nazi-occupied Germany. We don't exactly know in which country, but it was under Nazi control. You would think Black Ops Cold War Zombies takes place during the Cold War, the 60s, the 70s and 80s. Looking at the graffiti in Nakt, you can tell the building has been abandoned for many years. So somewhere later on down the line, maybe 20 or 30 years after the events that happened originally, the Russians reused this building for their nuclear program. And if we skip to a certain point in the teaser, we can see a nuclear bomb. Does that mean then that this is still a part of Nakt? How do the Russians reuse the building? Do they rebuild it in a different place? Obviously we have Nakta and Toten in Transit as well, which takes place in America. I doubt the Russians are going to be building a nuclear bomb in America, so maybe the version of Nakt that we saw in the trailer wasn't in transit and was somewhere in Russia. I don't know, but that's really interesting. Another cool thing is the fact that he says Nazi zombies escape and infect the site, there are going to be Russian and Nazi zombies in the game. And if you look very closely at the zombies in the teaser, they do almost look like the zombies we saw back in BO1. The kind of Nazi uniform they're wearing, it does look very similar. And that also makes sense because NACT originally had Nazi zombies. If it's been abandoned for years and then reused again in the Cold War era, do the Nazi zombies awaken from the 1940s and infect the site along with Russian zombies from the 60s? I think that's a really cool idea. Along with that, he says there's also going to be old weapons that remain on the site from World War II, and we have a new crew, which we could have guessed. It's pretty obvious from the way the character in the trailer is moving. This is a new character, a person that isn't used to this situation. And something I was wondering is, throughout the trailer, everything is completely dark. We've never really seen this in a Treyarch game before. Usually, yes, you have to turn the power on, but there's still plenty of lights everywhere, or if you play Ascension, the whole screen is black and white. But in this game, or this map, it seems everything is pitch black and you have to use a torch or a flashlight until you turn on the power. That to me is a really cool feature. I'm glad we don't have to play the whole map in pitch black, but that does add a different element to it. For me at least, it sounds a lot scarier. So those were all of the new leaks that we had, but in the comments of this Twitter post, someone brought up something really interesting. Now, back in 2019, there was a bunch of guys and leakers. This is an old post from April 2019 by the Woo Lads. I remember seeing this at the time, reading it and tried to remember that this was put out around the time of BO4, but it says, "We keep getting asked about zombies in 2019-2020. Zombies will continue on BO4 outside of the Black Ops Pass. Chaos is finished for this season, but not for BO4. Ether will be for the rest of the season. As you know, maps and production will be listed in the following tweet. Nuketown, Call of the Dead, Transit, Die Rise, and Buried. These maps are planned to have their own gauntlets, grief, and possibly turn modes. The second season of BO4 Zombies will have 2 more Chaos maps, with some Ether maps as well. 5 of Mob of the Dead may be Faithful Remasters 2 instead of reimagined as they currently are in Black Ops 4. This is subject to development change. Call of the Dead is planned to be a Faithful Remaster, whereas Transit is planned to be a bit more unique. Now, like I said, you have to remember that this was put out last year during the time of Black Ops 4. If you were staying up to date with things during that time, a lot of people were saying that we would get 2 season passes. The first one, which we got, and then the second one, which would finish off the Chaos story and also give us a few more Ether maps. A few maps that are listed here we can see were from the planned Zombies Chronicles 2 like Buried, Die Rise and Transit. They also mentioned Nuketown and Call of the Dead, however they did say that Call of the Dead is planned to be a faithful remaster. We do know that we got Call of the Dead in terms of Tag der Toten, it wasn't faithful to the original though, and we got Nuketown in terms of Alpha Omega, so maybe there was a mix up there, or the original Call of the Dead was actually planned to come back, but didn't. But the more interesting thing is they say 5 and Mob of the Dead may be Faithful Remasters too, whereas Transit is planned to be more unique. And now we come to current times where we are right now, where we have leaks telling us that Transit is coming back, but it's going to be quite different to what we saw previously. And now we have this new leak telling us that Mob of the Dead may be remastered. All of this stuff was planned to be released for the second season of Black Ops 4. That never came to be, for whatever reason, I'm not 100% sure. Maybe because BO4 wasn't as successful as they thought, so Season 2 never released. But we were told all the way back in April of 2019 that not only is a more unique version of Transit going to be releasing, but there will be faithful remasters of Mob and 5. Now 5 we haven't heard anything about, I'm not aware of it anyway. We have heard of Mob over the past day, but this was from well over a year ago. I haven't spoken to any of these lads, any of these leakers, as they said this is subject to development change, and we've had a lot of that over the past year, but are we going to be getting a remastered Mob of the Dead? And what about 5? They also said that would be a faithful remaster. We didn't get that in Black Ops 4. It was quite a bit different to the original. There was different layouts, new doors. We could teleport to Area 51, Groom Lake. We also had a different set of characters. If we did get a faithful remaster of that, could they just change the characters so we play as Ronald Reagan instead? Since we know he is the president during the campaign. I'd love to play as him in Zombies. I don't know, but there we go. That is all of the information I have for you today. As always, hopefully you have enjoyed the video. If you have, you know what to do. Drop a like rating. Make sure you are subscribed to stay up to date with the latest content on the channel. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Until then, goodbye.